Hello everyone, my name is Ike Winton, and today I would like to talk about the game we create called Whole Lot of Trouble. Okay. Our team is named called TASA, which stands for the initial of our group members. First of all, I would like to explain a little bit about the game and share the inspiration behind it. So this game is inspired by a childhood pastime in Myanmar, and where kids entertain themselves with just a paper and a pencil. And the concept is very straightforward and fun and clear. Player can create many holes by punching through the paper with a pencil, and the challenge is that the player is holding the pencil at the bottom of the paper and using the tip of the pencil to navigate around this hole and avoiding them as you try to reach the other side. So this with whole lot of trouble, we bringing back the simple joy and creativity, and we transforming it into an engaging experience that everyone can enjoy. So that's all about the strategy, skill, and a little bit of luck. And our game has 4 levels, as we have 4 group members in our team. And I would like to show our game from start to finish. So this is the menu interface and win condition for the level 1. So when you touch the hole, and the game will be over, and when you can so you can click R in your keyboard to restart the game. So this is the level 2. And this is the level 3 with the obstacle. And as I written here, when the player also touch the obstacle will lose the game. So this is the hardest and the last level of our game. Since all level use the same objects and methods, so we decided to divide the work based on the game object rather than by level. And in our group project, I'm responsible for the designing the obstacle and the menu interface. So for the obstacle, I start by creating a 3D cube objects and writing a script to make it move. And in our game, dynamic obstacle are featured in level 3, and then level 4 includes both static and dynamic obstacle. So to increase the challenge, I design this obstacle in various shape and size, and adding more excitement in our gameplay. So the next one is about the menu interface. So to align with the game theme, I decorate the menu in a pixel style. And for the play and then quick option, I use the click button and adjust the font style and the size to match with the resolutions. And I only focus on the menu interface. So in general, since I have never implemented the game by myself before, so I wasn't familiar with the tools. So to overcome this, I learned by reading from Google, watching YouTube tutorial, and then learning and reading the lecture slides. So while there has a lot of overwhelming information on Google, I found that the lecture slide is to be more clear and concise, which really helped me when I got stuck. And the last one, for the rating, I know I'm not a perfect student, but I would rate myself about an 8.5 solid, because I've completed my test properly and I'm always available to support my group member when they need help and I collaborate with them. And also team members are very active and we work together to solve problem as well. So overall, I feel like my skill have improved a lot because of this project. And this is the end of my presentation and my friend will continue our part.
So for my part, my name is C, and I'm one of the team member of the game development called lotta. So in this game, I'm tasked with player movement and camera movement and the runway interface of the game. So in this slide, I want to talk about the player object. So for the player object, I just have to create a sphere with a scale of 1:1 to give a shape, compact uniform shape for smoother movement. On the right side, there is a script for player controller. As you can see, we use two variables in this script. And the first one is the rigid body for physics-based movement of the object. And the second one is move speed to control how fast the player is going to move. And we use start method and the apply method. And in the start method, I link rigid body to the code and setting second resolution to make sure that the game is going to look very good on the display. And next slide, please. When doing this game development, I faced several challenges. And one of the challenges is using the platform of the Unity because of my small computer screen. So I feel so overwhelming at first. And there are so many panels to manage at the same time. So I feel a little bit intense at the first. And on top of that, and I have to use C# language for the script, and I haven't learned it before. So it's quite tough for me to learn. So I have to balance out learning a new language and figuring out the interface of the Unity. Next slide, please. So while I face a lot of challenges, I acquire some of the experience and skill while developing this game. So firstly, I have to work with C# to script player movement and camera control and the object interaction within the game. So, and another lesson is I learned the importance of debugging. So we really need some debugging to make the smoother game experiences. And also, I also feel appreciated for my team member for the team collaboration because I love some technical state and they really want to help me with understanding the script and how to use the Unity platform. So if I have to rate my set, I will give my set 6.5 because I love some technical state in so many areas. So with this project, it showed me that there are some I can learn a bit much more. So that's on my part, and my friend will talk about.
Hello everyone, my name is Ong Kao Nye, and I was responsible for creating the obstacles and background for our Unity game project. So for my slides, I have divided 3 parts for each topic. So the first one is obstacle. So when I'm making the cylindrical object holes, I have to start with the cylindrical objects, and I chose this shape because it was so easy to manipulate and provided a consistent look. And the second one is I then changed the color of the cylinder to black, which helped then stand out against the background and create a sense of depth. And the third fact is that placing the hole was a delicate process, so I have to ensure they were challenging enough to create an exciting gameplay experience, but not so difficult that players would get frustrated. Next slide, please. So this slide is about the background part. So for the background, I focus on finding the right image and adjusting its dimension to fit the scene. And the second one is that I have to choose the correct image. And so I use a stretching technique to make sure it converted the entire background without any distortion. And the last one is I have to consider the overall aesthetic of the background, ensuring it complemented the game themes and enhanced the player experience. So the last slide is, next slide, please. So the last slide is what I have learned and how many challenges I have to face through and how I overcome it. So through this project, I learned about object placement, material properties, and image manipulation in Unity. And the second one is that I face the holes perfectly with the ground. So I overcame this by using like precise measurements and fine tuning of the object's position. So in conclusion, I successfully created the obstacles and background for our game and contribute to the overall game play experience. And if I have to give myself rating, I will give myself as a 6 for my outstanding like trial for this newly game project. And for the next slide, my friend will present.
Hi everyone, I am Tasnamgil, and my contribution towards this project was to make the goal feature, make the main menu scene, and make the logo of this work. My work entailed mostly writing the scripts for the game for smooth functioning, such as scripts for goal detection and scoring, restarting the game and ending the game, level transitioning, transforming object based on current level, scripts for main menu, and designing the logo. What I learned during this project was to design and make 3D models in Blender and currently import it into Unity to use it as an asset. I learned scripts to change the scene when one scene was completed. When a goal is scored, load next scene method is called, and next scene index variable stores the index of the next scene, and in the if condition, the index of the next scene is compared to the total count of the scene in the build setting. If the condition is true, it loads the next scene, and if it is false, it does not change. I learned to set up multiple precise collider for the goalpost and for correct goal detection. The big collider on the outside belongs to the net, and the smaller collider on the inside is for goal detection. I learned to set up specific conditions to keep the goalpost stationary in early levels while allowing movements in the later levels to increase difficulty. What difficulty I faced? First issue I faced was not being able to find free 3D models for the goalpost. So I had to make my own 3D model using Blender, which is an open source 3D modeling software. After that, I faced importing issues into Unity. However, I fixed the issue after watching some tutorials on YouTube. Next issue I faced was the player was going through the net and was able to score, which is unrealistic. So I added collider to the goal net to prevent the ball from passing through the net. However, doing this raised some new issues. The collider for the net was too large and it was preventing the player from scoring. So to fix this new incorrect goal detection due to collider size, I created a separate precision collider for each part of the goal structure. I created a separate collider for the net and another collider for the whole structure. The next issue I faced was the transitioning between levels. To solve this, I used Scene Manager to load the next scene when the level was completed. I added codes to detect goal state, and upon scoring, triggered the transition to the next level. And for the rating, I would rate myself 9.5 out of 10. I feel like I've contributed a big chunk of work in completion of this project. I have done most of the technical work, such as coding for the main menu, coding for scene management, applying appropriate conditions for obstacles to work differently at different stages of the game, and managing necessary components needed for the proper functioning of the game. And that is it for our presentation. Thank you for listening and watching this video.